Hello, friends, and welcome to Passport to Obsession. I'm so happy you're here with me today. Welcome to our list of the top 10 places you just have to see in France. This country has so much to offer. Shiny cities and famous buildings, sunny beaches and quiet fields of lavender. France is exciting for your eyes, ears and taste. It's like walking through history, and you'll remember it long after you go home. It's a place where old streets seem to tell stories from long ago, and every meal feels like a party. For years, I've loved how different and wonderful French culture is, the art, the food, and its strong spirit. If you're planning your first trip, dreaming of your first real croissant in a Paris cafe, or if you love France and are coming back for your 10th visit, these are places you really must see. We're about to take a pretend trip to see famous places that are important not just to France, but to everyone in the world. So get your hat, maybe a café au lait, and let's find out what makes France so magical. We'll see tall buildings, walk through amazing art museums, and enjoy the beautiful nature. Together, we'll find the stories, the secrets, and the fun that these 10 amazing places offer to everyone who visits. Get ready to feel excited, and maybe even start planning your next big trip. We start in Paris with the most famous thing you see in the sky, the Eiffel Tower. It's 330 meters tall, made of iron, and it's not just a tower. It shows how clever French people are and how romantic Paris is. Gustave Eiffel's company planned it for a big fair in 1889. At first, some people weren't sure about it. Yet it was only supposed to be there for a short time, for 20 years, and then taken down. Its survival is because it was surprisingly useful for sending radio messages. When you visit the Eiffel Tower, there are different things to do on different floors. The first floor has an exciting glass floor. You can look straight down at the city. The second floor has wide, amazing views, great for spotting other famous places in Paris. If you like a challenge, you can take the stairs to the second floor. There are 704 steps. It's a fun workout. From the second floor, an elevator takes you quickly to the very top. The views there are the best you can imagine. Gustave Eiffel even had a small apartment there. A private place where he had guests like Thomas Edison. It can be windy up there, but seeing all around, especially when the sun goes down and the city lights sparkle, is truly magical. To avoid long lines, try to go early in the morning or late at night. You really should buy your tickets online before you go. It can save you hours of waiting. The Eiffel Tower is more than just a place to see the view. It's a famous symbol that has given ideas to many artists, writers, and movie makers. Next, we go to a place full of amazing art, the Louvre Museum. This huge palace used to be a home for kings and queens. Now it has one of the biggest and most varied art collections in the world. Everyone rushes to see three main artworks: the Mona Lisa, the Venus de Milo, and the Winged Victory of Samothrace. Enjoy the adventure and let the Louvre show you its amazing things. Not far from Paris, we enter a world of amazing luxury, the Palace of Versailles. This amazing castle was King Louis XIV, the Sun King's way of showing how powerful he was. The most famous room is for sure the Hall of Mirrors, a shiny hall with 357 mirrors. It was also here that the Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919, which officially ended World War I. Besides the Hall of Mirrors, the King's and Queen's special rooms give you a peek into how French royalty lived. The greatness of Versailles goes way past the palace walls into its amazing gardens. Designed by André Lenotre, these neat gardens are a perfect example of garden design. You can rent a boat on the Grand Canal or find old statues all around the gardens. It can take up a whole afternoon. Gap 2. S. For a more private peek into royal life, go further into the grounds to find the Grand Trianon and the Petit Trianon. You need a whole day, or maybe even more, to see Versailles. Get there early, especially if you haven't bought tickets online, because the lines can be very long. Think about taking a tour with a guide to learn more about the palace's history and stories. Let yourself feel like you've gone back in time and be amazed by how big, beautiful, and fancy this incredible World Heritage Site is. From the fancy halls of Versailles, we go northwest to the coast of Normandy to see Mont Saint-Michel. This amazing island, which gets cut off by the tide, has a wonderful old abbey on top. It's one of France's most famous sites. Visiting Mont Saint-Michel is like going back to the Middle Ages. The best part, of course, is the Abbey of Mont Saint-Michel itself. Stay overnight to see Mont Saint-Michel when it's quieter in the evening. Now let's leave the old mysteries behind and find some Mediterranean magic as we go south to the famous Côte d'Azur. This fancy part of the coast, from Toulon to Italy, is famous for its bright blue water, sunny beaches, pretty towns, and a life of luxury and style. Cities like Nice, with its lively Promenade des Anglais, colorful old town, and great art museums, give you both city excitement and beach calm. Then there's Cannes, known all over the world for its yearly film festival. For a taste of super luxury, Monaco, a tiny separate country on the coast, is a place you have to see. Further east, towns like Aix and Menton are full of charm and beauty. The Côte d'Azur has always pulled in artists who loved its special light and bright colors. Of course, the beaches are a big reason people come. From the sandy beaches in Antibes to the stony beaches in Nice, there's a place for everyone to enjoy the Mediterranean sun. The best times to visit are in spring and early fall, when the weather is nice and there are fewer people. If you're looking for fancy things, art, rest, or beautiful nature, the Côte d'Azur has it all, with a special Mediterranean style. Back in Paris, we look at a building that is not just an amazing example of Gothic style, but also a sign of strength and hope. Notre Dame Cathedral. It's on the Île de la Cité, the old center of Paris. Notre Dame has been there for over 850 years. They started building Notre Dame in 1163, and it took almost 200 years to finish. For hundreds of years, Notre Dame has been very important in French history. The terrible fire on April 15th, 2019, shocked everyone. Firefighters bravely fought the fire. They saved the main stone building, the famous bell towers, and many special old things and artworks. The fixing of Notre Dame is now a very big job. Even while it's being fixed, Notre Dame is still a strong and important site in Paris. When Notre Dame opens again, it will surely be a time for a big celebration. People will once again be able to look up at the beautiful round windows and climb the towers for amazing views of Paris. Notre Dame is more than just stone and glass. It's the heart of Paris, a sign of belief, art, and the strong spirit of people that lasts. Let's go south again, this time to the sunny lands of Provence. It's famous for its gentle hills, cute villages, and most of all, its amazing lavender fields. From late June to early August, big areas of Provence turn into a sweet-smelling sea of purple. The lavender roads of Provence go through some of the prettiest parts of the area. The Valensole Plateau is maybe the most famous, with its rows of lavender that seem to go on forever. The best time to see this purple show is usually from the last week of June to the start of August. Many villages have lavender parties at this time. They celebrate the lavender harvest with parades, old-fashioned music and markets. Beyond being beautiful, the lavender fields are important for farming and business in Provence. The lands where these lavender fields grow also have cute villages on hilltops. Exploring these villages with their small twisty streets, shady town squares and nice cafes is a key part of visiting Provence. The lavender fields of Provence are more than just a pretty sight. They offer a journey for your senses that connects you to the land, the way of life, and the old customs of this beautiful area. It reminds us of the deep beauty that nature, with a little help from people, can make. Our next stop takes us to the middle of France, to the green and rich Loire Valley, often called the Garden of France. This pretty area is famous for its wonderful collection of chateaux, or castles. The Loire Valley has over 300 castles, and each one is special and has its own story. Among the most famous is the Château de Chambord, a huge, amazing example of French Renaissance building style. Its special staircase, where two people can go up or down without meeting, is a very clever design. Then there's the beautiful Château de Chenonceau, which stretches nicely over the river Cher. It's called the Ladies' Castle because important women help make it what it is. Gap 2S. Other important castles include the Château de Villandry, famous for its amazing Renaissance gardens. Visiting the Loire Valley castles is like stepping into a history book or a fairy tale book. To really enjoy the Loire Valley, think about staying in one of the nice towns like Tours, Amboise, or Blois. And of course, make sure to try the local wines and food that the Loire Valley is also famous for. Now we go to a place that is very important in history, the D-Day beaches of Normandy. On June 6, 1944, these beaches saw the biggest attack from the sea in all of history. Visiting these places is very touching. It's a strong reminder of what people gave up for freedom and peace. The landings, called Operation Overlord, happened along 50 miles of coast. Omaha Beach, sometimes called Bloody Omaha, was where the fighting was the hardest and many people died. Today, the Normandy American Cemetery and Memorial looks over Omaha Beach. At Utah Beach, the landings were not as difficult. The Utah Beach D-Day Museum tells a full story of what happened there. Point du Hoc, a high cliff, was climbed by US Army Rangers while they were being shot at a lot. Besides the beaches, many museums, memorials and cemeteries in the Normandy area remember the D-Day landings. Visiting the D-Day beaches is not just about seeing old places, it's about feeling the stories of brave people, what they gave up, and how strong they were. The D-Day beaches of Normandy strongly remind us how terrible war is, and why peace is so important. It's a trip that can be sad, but it is also very meaningful. For our last amazing place, we go up to the stunning high mountains of the French Alps, to Chamonix-Mont Blanc. Chamonix is in a big valley at the bottom of Mont Blanc, the tallest mountain in Western Europe. It's a famous place for mountain climbers, skiers, and anyone who loves beautiful mountain views. Chamonix has a long history as one of the oldest and most famous ski places in the world. One of the most famous things to do in Chamonix is to ride the Aiguille du Midi cable car. This exciting ride takes you quickly up to 3,842 meters high, with amazing wide views that will surprise you. Another thing you must do is take a trip on the Montenvers Railway. It's a cute train with gears that climbs up to the Mer de Glace glacier. The Chamonix Valley has lots of great hiking paths for everyone, no matter how fit you are or how much you've hiked before. For those who like exciting activities that get your heart pumping, Chamonix has them. Chamonix Mont Blanc is a place that makes you feel amazed and small when you see how powerful and beautiful nature is. Whether you're looking for exciting adventures or quiet moments in beautiful scenery, Chamonix gives you a mountain experience you won't forget. It's a great way to end our tour of France's amazing places. It reminds us of all the different and beautiful things this country has. And that's it. A quick tour of 10 of France's most amazing places. From the famous shape of the Eiffel Tower in the Paris sky, to the tall peaks of Mont Blanc, and from the special art halls of the Louvre to the serious beaches of Normandy, France really offers so many different kinds of experiences you can't find anywhere else. Thanks for coming with us on this tour of France's best sights. I hope this trip has made you dream and maybe even want to plan your own trip to France. Each of these places has its own special magic, a special story for you to find. If you like art treasures, deep history, beautiful nature, or lively culture, France will grab your heart and you'll never forget it. Remember, travel is more than just seeing new places. It's about feeling close to the world and to yourself. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and click the bell button for more travel ideas and tips. As you dream about your trips or get ready for your next one, keep that feeling of wonder and wanting to know more. France is a country that gives you a lot when you explore it. So go out, enjoy every moment, every taste, and every view. Until we meet again for another trip, I hope you have safe and happy travels. Goodbye and happy travels.